They're going to show great leadership for these new guys coming in, and but anything we do, well, we do it not just now, but it's got to make sure it fits the culture. But we'll look at the needs that we need, but it's got to be right, or we won't move.
How much harder is it to recruit nowadays compared to even just 10 years ago?
Well, it's just different. I mean, recruiting rules in my time in the game, it's changed. It's forever changing. You just have to be able to deal with it, and whatever the rules of the games are, you have to adapt and adjust to it, and that's what we've always tried to do.
What stood out about Jaylen Carey, 2 times y'all played him this year?
Well, he pretty much had his way with us. He pretty much, we thought he was as good a player that we'd played against all year in the post in terms of getting done what that he needed to get done, and just the fact that and screen, I don't think we played against anybody that screened better than he screened us all year long, but just obviously excited about Jaylen and what he's going to bring to us.
You were already bringing back 3 front court guys, and you went out and got Jaylen. Why was that something you felt like you guys needed to do?
Because we want versatility. We look at Cade as being a hybrid type of player. We think Cade, is going to be able to do a lot of different things for us, and you got to always protect. I mean, you look at JP. His injury. We were shorthanded this year, and you got to think about that too when you put this together. And but what we like about our front line, we're not putting any of them in a box. We think that they can all. We want to expand all their games, but when you're putting together a team. I mean, there was times this year you guys saw us that we had 7 guys out there going against the walk-ons a lot, and but you've got to prepare for what might happen that you don't want to happen, but we feel good obviously about where we are on the front line. But again, I think Cade's versatility allows us him to do a lot more than just play there.
How receptive was Cade, Felix, JP to Jaylen coming in, considering today's day and age?
Well, I think it speaks volumes about them that they're not afraid to compete. I mean, where they all want to go is all about competitive spirit. They all want to be professional basketball players, and I think they all have very much confidence, and they want to win. And I think that during our conversations with them, and even Jaylen, the fact that he wanted to be here like he did, he loves how we've done things and the things he talked about with us. But I think it speaks volumes about our guys that. They say, hey, we want to win, and they've put the team first, they put the program first, and they've pretty much said, hey, whatever you guys think we need to do, we're all in with you.
Y'all view Jaylen as a guy that can kind of stretch the defense and develop his shot and hit some shots on the perimeter?
Yeah, he can. I mean, there's again, I think the key is you don't put guys in boxes and you let them see, and you see how hard guys work, and but he showed us enough to know that that he can do a lot of different things.
Coach, you've been doing it a long time. I would say maybe some high school kids and their parents don't like some of the hard truths you may tell them in the recruiting process. Do you find the older kids and their families, once they've been through it and maybe things hadn't worked out like they thought at the previous stop, they find just some blunt honesty to be attractive?
Well, I do think that people like truth. I mean, I don't want to be misled. I want to treat people the way that I'd like to be treated, and I think honesty and transparency is the main thing. And I've said before, I think one of the reasons that we are where we are today with the transfer, there's always been a lot of transfers, and I think a lot of it goes back to where coaches misled people. They said things that they hoped might work out, but they didn't. And so I think honesty and transparency is the way to go. And I just really believe that God's got a plan for all of us, and if you tell the truth, and it's going to work out the way it should work out, and if it doesn't, again, I just don't want someone to come back on us and say, well, you told us this, but this didn't happen. We just want to be brutally honest from the beginning, and anytime we're talking to someone, we're going to tell them how we see it, what we think, and hope that they see it the same way with us.
You referenced culture fit and perimeter depth, but what are the on-court attributes that you want to add still to the perimeter?
Again, the best player we can get. It would be it. I mean, someone that can impact our program in more than one way, someone that can impact us, understands what we want to do. And again, we got a group of guys that I think that truly have bought into wanting to be the best team they can be, and we need someone to come in with that mindset, knowing that what their skill level, whatever it may be, what skills they bring, fits into what we need. And they have to know that if we're talking to them, it's something that we're looking for and what we believe we need to have here to help us to improve.
How capable is JP of expanding the floor and consistently knocking down those shots?
I think the biggest thing for him is, I think setting out this year probably gave him a whole different light. And he would tell you that, I believe, that he would tell you that he saw the game in a way that, he's a year older and missed it, not being able to play. But, JP has the ability to, he's a good shooter, a good offensive player, pass the ball. But I think he would tell you, too, whatever role that he feels he needs to play to help this team win, that's what he's going to do.
When do you see JP getting back into game-like activities from a health standpoint?
Again, when you have the injury that he had, that's something that you take your time with, and we've done that with him, and we'll continue to do that. It's strictly up to Chad and the doctors. They've got him on a plan, and we'll stick to that plan. That's right down to the very dot of it, because we're not going to try to hurry him back. We want it to be done where he doesn't have to deal with this. He doesn't want to ever have to deal with it again, and so we're going to make sure we take our time with it as we have.
How important was it to start this roster with Jacobe?
I think, obviously when you lose the perimeter players that we did and you want to start there at that position, it was important, in the fact that his love for the state, his love for this university, and wanting to come back. One of the last things he said to me when he left here, he said, "I've been waiting a long time to take a shot on this court." And the fact that he, again, has already done a lot with helping us recruit his teammates and the guys that he'd like to play with, and knowing the guys here. But to get that one early was a big get for us.
Is it similar to Chaz's recruitment in terms of being in-state kids that want to come home?
Yeah, no doubt. I think he's got a great family. He'll probably, his grandfathers, I think, already looked to buy a bunch of seats, tickets. Right off the bat, the people in East Tennessee that I know that are big basketball fans have told me how many people have reached out about tickets. Can we get tickets? And so yeah, there's no doubt that he's excited to be back home.
There's so many existing things for this program as you'll go throughout the season. Just the Players Air Tournament, it's a big part, and it's a big stage that Tennessee's put on for the first time. So just what else are you building with this team during off season that really has no off season?
Well, you're right. We don't have an off season, and we're still trying to put this team together, which who knows how long that will take, and when we can say that will be our team going forward next year. But the real improvement always comes with your returning players, and not just what they do on the court. It's their maturity, their leadership, and these guys coming back have had a chance to be part of the NCAA tournament, obviously, and go deep into it. But the maturity level is probably maybe more important than the physical part of it, because when you bring in a new group of guys coming in, we expect the older guys that have been there, they know what our program's about, they know how we want to do things, that they really take these guys under their wing early and say, hey, this is how we do it, this is what we expect on and off the court. And so that really in some ways is what we're talking about with our returning players, not just their physical improvement, but their mental improvement.
What's important for Bishop this offseason would have been your conversation and message to him?
That he continues what he did the last couple of weeks of the season. We felt it as a staff that he was really turning the corner, understanding what it's about. I think he had an incredible attitude. If you sit down and talk to him about playing time, he said, hey, Coach, we're a top 5 team, and we got experienced guys in front of me. I get it, but he didn't ever, have a bad attitude about that. When he would get upset, it was always about himself, not playing up to the standard that he had set for himself. But the fact is, he's looking at it now that he knows that we need him to make that big jump. And he's worked as hard as anybody on our team since the season's been over with. He's probably put more time in the gym than anybody since the season's been over with. And it goes back to the previous question about what do we really need, maturity. And understanding that it's the grind that he's getting into, and now he's going to go from a guy that, again, played, set behind, a group of guys that put a lot of minutes in, to where he's a guy that's going to have to be out there and be counted on to perform at a high level.
Stands out about Jacobe's game on the court.
Do what?
Jacobe's game on the court, what stands out?
A lot. You know, he's obviously a terrific shooter, very unselfish. You know, I thought it was really neat in one of our first conversations. You know, he talked about he had never played much in ball screens until he went to the University of Maryland at Belmont. You know, they run their 4-out motion offense and more passing, cutting, reading, those type things. But going to Maryland, they put him in more ball screens. And if you look at it for 1 year, I thought he did a really good job with that. But he's a guy that would tell you that he doesn't, whatever it takes. If you need him with the ball in his hand, he'll play with it. If you need him to play off the ball, he'll do that too. And he's got just a great attitude about, again, coming back home, being here, being a part of this, and wanting to do everything he can to help us to get further than we've been in the past.
Coach, for these older guys, older transfers, how attractive do you think you guys are because of 2 back-to-back Elite Eight runs and Chaz and Dalton the last 2 years?
You know, you would think maybe that, but now with the finances out there, that kind of sometimes overweighs all that, you know, because, you know, I mean, you look at some programs are having to come up with a whole new roster of 10, 12 people. And you think that if it's just about playing time, you could jump on that real quick, but there's a lot more that goes into it than that now. Obviously, you know, there's dollars that people are going to talk about, and oftentimes we've seen it where some people will take less money but for the opportunity to grow and be a part of a program, and some people feel like, hey, this is the best time for me to get money, and I'm going to take the money regardless of, you know, where it might be. And so I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason where people make decisions other than I truly believe they have to make the decision based on what they think's best for them at that point in time.
You touched on it a little bit, but how important is the stability in the starting lineup with Felix coming back this year? Because you're obviously recruiting your own guys too.
Well, again, I'm excited about Felix, how much he improved this year, and I think he's going to take another big step. You know, I do, and he had some great moments, and the fact he, again, like our guys returning, they want to be good, but we expect him to take a big jump, and he will. There's no doubt that in my mind he will.
Of these returnees, who has really taken that big step to that leadership maturity role that you were talking about? Of the returnees,
Yeah.
who's really taken that big step in that leadership?
Well, I think we'll see that more once we really get back together as a group. I mean, individually, when we're doing our individual workouts right now, they've all been terrific in terms of their approach coming in, getting their work done, and it's when you really put the locker room back together and they're in there, that's when all that leadership and all that comes back together, and when these newer guys come in. But amongst the guys here, I think there's a great deal of respect for each other, and they know that we've lost a group of guys who've played a lot of basketball for us, and it's their turn. It's their turn, and they've got to be ready to embrace that. They know that, and obviously as a coaching staff, we're going to continue to talk to them about you know, where we are, where we want to go, but they know it. It's just a matter of getting everyone in here together and starting to. And that won't happen until really we get into the first session of summer school.
Thanks, Coach.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you,
Coach.
guys.
Appreciate it. It's a bougie vest you got on here.
I think you're wearing an undershirt.
Huh?
Keep the undershirt on.
Because you want to be a
That's only one reason. Only for the pockets.
not the stripes. You don't want to be an official.
Pocket candy?
I just want the pocket.
Pocket.
Something to eat.
Got my word there already.
What is it?